What is up, you guys? It is your boy, Bretton Biggers here, and welcome back to another video. Now, today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of an interesting video, since it is the aka off-season for the NFL. We're going to be talking about the free agent recaps. Crazy. But, yeah. But anyway, we already talked about the number one and number something overall picks. Now let's talk about the two other trades I've yet to talk about, and that is the Jalen Ramsey and Darren Waller trades. Now, Jalen Ramsey, Rams, you already know I'm about to give you guys an F. Like, seriously, you could have gotten so much more for Jalen Ramsey instead of a third and Hunter Long. Who's Hunter Long exactly? Apparently he's a Dolphins tight end. That's all I gotta say. Like, seriously. You get an F, you practically could have gotten at least a first round pick if you just waited. But instead, this is what happens. You get a third round pick and Hunter Long. Dolphins, they get an A+. I mean, there's nothing really else to ask. You pretty much get rid of nothing for practically one of the best corners in the game. Yeah, I'm not joking around. So, yeah, safe to say they pretty much won the trade. Then you got an interesting one, which is right now. So let me actually go look at my phone real quick, because I actually want to look back at this one real quick. And so apparently, Giants. Did I click on it? I clicked on it. Okay, well. Yeah, so apparently, Darren Waller apparently get traded to the New York Giants for exchange of a third round pick, which is the 100th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. So, yeah, and by the way, again, this will be outdated, so that's why I'll be making another video soon, but Raiders, they get a B+, because he's not as good as Jalen Ramsey, but when he is healthy, he is very good, but when he's not healthy, this is going to be worth the trade, just why I'll give them a B+ right now. Giants, they get an A+, it's pretty self-explanatory. You already now got a franchise wide receiver, or I should say pass catcher, for Daniel Jones to throw to. It sucks that you have to pay him $40 million a year, but yeah. Alright, so now we are done with trades for now, because, you know, there might be Aaron Rodgers. I also might be thinking of Lamar Jackson. But, yeah, there are going to be other trades coming out soon, so keep an eye on that. But, yeah, let's get to the free agents. So we're starting off with a re-sign with Jonathan Jones going back to New England. Nothing crazy, just a 2-year deal, $13 million. Nothing very crazy. It's not a bad contract, and I feel like it is necessary to bring back Jonathan Jones. Because, well, they don't really have any other good cornerbacks who are at least the age of 26. Or at least have 2 years experience as a starting corner. So yeah, I think it's very worth it in my opinion. And then you got my boys, the Seahawks, making a little interesting contract with DeMondre Jones. Now you're like, okay, you know, he's alright, but like, how much money are we gonna pay this man? 3-year deal worth $51 million. Too much. I understand you cut my man Shelby Harris, which, again, makes sense, because he's not going to win a Super Bowl here. There's no point of having him on the team. But, seriously, I really, really didn't want to pay DeMondre Jones this much money. Like, I'm fine if we would have gotten him. He was easily, like, one of my top 5 players I would like the Seahawks get as a free agent. But I would have not paid this man this much money. Honestly, I would rather pay Javon Hargrave $25 million a year than paying this man as much money as he's getting. That's not a joke. This is very serious. Like, seriously, I think we're paying him, what, 17, 18 million a year? Or something like that? rather than just pay Javon Hargrave like $25 million a year, which he's getting paid $21 million, and it's the Niners. But the Niners, Seahawks, enough explanatory. You get a D. The only reason why I put it as a D rather than an F is because this is the biggest need for Seattle, is nose tackle. So I will give it that. That is a good point. You're like, it's kind of like the Jaguars case. You're spending. What am I even saying? You're, using money to go get your player, but you're just overpaying him. That's the issue. Like, it might help you in a short-term solution, but in the long term, that will definitely hurt big time with DeMondre Jones' contract. And then you got the Kansas City Chiefs making a very interesting move, to say the least, but obviously I think it was quite clear. They go sign Jawaan Taylor for a 4-year deal worth of $80 million with $60 guaranteed. I'm gonna give this one an F. Hello with that burp. But, yeah, it's very self-explanatory. This was a terrible signing. He is average or good at best as a tackle, but did you really have to spend so much money on getting another tackle? I understand Orlando Brown Jr. might be gone, and also Weiler Andrew, their former tackle, also left for free agency. I understand that, but you got frickin' Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. You're not gonna need this piece of shit on your team. Okay, maybe not a piece of shit, okay, but he's not a good tackle. He's not gonna be a tackle worth this much money. I'm gonna say that. You get an F, and despite you won the Super Bowl, this is not gonna get you anywhere going back to the Super Bowl. And then you got the Broncos. Rest in peace to my man Russell Wilson for being on a trash team. Gets Micah Glenchie for a 5-year deal worth $87.5 million with $52 guaranteed. This one, finally a good one. I'll give this one a B. It made sense. This team is very, very lackluster at the tackle position at the moment, which is why I'll give it some props for that. It really did need some help on the offensive line, and I think this will make it worthwhile. And obviously, if you want to protect my man Russell Wilson, you got to give him some alignment, and Micah Glenchie will definitely help with that role. And also, he's not getting paid like Jawaan Taylor money, and he's better than Jawaan Taylor. Yeah, sure, in long term, he is going to get worse, but in short term, this is a very good move. And this team is pretty much a win-now team. It's just like, will Russell Wilson finally make the connection with Sean Payton, the GOAT himself? Let's play it. Then you got my boy Pat Pete getting signed on a 2-year deal worth $14 million to my dad's favorite team, Pittsburgh. Okay, I didn't need to hype it up that much, but I'll give this one a solid B. Mike Tomlin, let's face this, man, you need to get some corner for your boy T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith to get to the quarterback. And wonder why Alex Highsmith hasn't been good until now. Because he hasn't had good corners. Obviously, I know they have Minka Fitzpatrick, which is a literal god himself, but you need to get corners, and Pat Pete will maybe answer that role. But the difference is, with all the coaches that he had, this is actually a really good qualified head coach. Actually, well, maybe not, but let's just say this. He is easily one of the best head coaches in the league, and a lot of people might disagree with that, but in my opinion, Mike Tomlin is one of the best head coaches in the league right now, outside of, again, Bill Belichick, and also, in my opinion, Pete Carroll, but it's definitely that to me. And then you got the Atlanta Falcons trying to compete in a very weak NFC South, which is probably going to get a lot better with all the moves that they've been making so far. signed Jesse Bates on a 4-year deal worth $64.2 million. Wait, what? What? And also, by the way, the first year in his contract gets $23 million. Yeah, $23 million to a guy who's been playing average at best for the past 2 years. Yikes. Good luck with that contract. That contract gets a solid F right off the bat. You're not paying this man $23 million his first year. Well, better luck next year, as Santa would say. Then you got the Bears, who made it already a massive trade already. Go and get Bills linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, the guy which the Seahawks did in the beginning, but whatever, to a 4-year deal worth $72 million with $50 guaranteed. Now, I'm going to give this one, and this might be a little bit of an interesting one to me, but I'll give this one a solid A-. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, what the frick was that grade, Brenton? Well, this is my opinion. They really did need help, like, on that defense. Juwan Brisker, Kyle Gordon, yeah, they can't stand alone on this defense by themselves. Which is why I think the Tremaine Edmonds pick will be very good. Now all they gotta do is get an edge rusher, and an interior, and also an O-line, and also maybe one other wide receiver, and maybe this team might be going somewhere with their rebuild. And then you got Javon Hargrave going to the 49ers. I mentioned this before. 4-year deal worth $84 million. Obviously, I'm giving this one a solid A. The only thing that does not make this an A plus to me is, one, they didn't really need a defensive lineman. And two, they already have, and two, they really didn't even need to fix the defense in general. So, yeah. I'll give this one an A, though, because, you're paying $21 million to a guy who had double-digit sacks on the Super Bowl Eagles team, who also had a ton of sacks on that team. Yeah. You go get an A. And it's not biased. It's not biased, because as much as I hate the 49ers, it's not biased. Oh yeah, by the way, before we move on to the video and stuff, I will mention this. There are going to be some free agent signings that I just don't include, or this video will be outdated, and also, or it's just not showing up on the NFL website. That's the only 3 reasons why I would never include them. But anyway, the Las Vegas Raiders signed Jimmy G to a 3-year pack worth $72.75 million, with 34 of it guaranteed. Now, I'll give this one a solid C. There are some, it's the best grade I could describe this, because it's kind of in the middle of the pack. One, you have familiar faces, like with Josh McDaniels and stuff. But on the other hand, you have to deal with such a massive contract and a quarterback that might only get you to a Super Bowl. That's kind of his limit. I think he can win a Super Bowl, in my opinion, but I don't think he's ever going to win a Super Bowl, especially with Josh McDaniels running the business. So, yeah. And then you got the Vikings, the Purple Carnation of Satan, signing on a 1-year pack with Marcus Zatoport, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't mention the name. Worth $13 million. Now, I will give this one a solid D. And now, let me say why. One, he is not going to replace Zadarius Smith's impact on the team. And two, he's just not worth $13 million a year. I'm sorry. He has the athleticism to go get to the quarterback, but he's not going to help you with that, with the $13 million. And I'm just sorry. It's just kind of just the truth. Obviously, for Marcus Zatoport, that's a win for him, because he's getting $13 million in 1 year. And he can get a big contract if he does end up playing really good with the Minnesota Vikings. And then you got the Browns, which I don't know if he used to been here, but I don't know. But Dalvin Tomlinson signing a 4-year pack worth $57 million with 27.5 guaranteed. Now, I'll give this one a B minus. If the guaranteed money, it will probably be much more lower, like an E plus. But it makes sense, fixing the defense a little bit and hopefully maybe a pass rush complement to Myles Garrett. But again, they only really can hope for that. And then you hear the DeMondre Jones replacement for the Broncos. They get a 3-year pack worth $45.75 million with $32.5 million guaranteed. I'll give this one a solid C plus because one, it is a very big need to go address the pass rushing position. That is one. Number two, you also it's not a bad player to have at the interior position. But now let's talk about some negatives here. Paying this man $32.5 million when he's not really he's like a mediocre player. That isn't worth it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, unless I'm new to free agency or something, a lot of these contracts seem just much of an overpay to me. But that's kind of just my opinion. Now you got Taylor Heinicke going to the Atlanta Falcons for a 2-year pack. It doesn't say his... Oh, never mind. It says 20 from sources right now. But honestly, I give this one a solid A+. Unless this man is getting paid $15 million a year, I honestly say it's an A+. Because, worst case scenario, he's just a solid backup quarterback. But at best, he can be a very good quarterback for this team. And honestly, I'm saying this as facts. Yes, I know, he had a coach in Ron McBayer, who's not that bad of a head coach. But Arthur Smith is a very underrated head coach, and who knows, he could be a very good player with playmakers of Drake London, Mark Patterson, Tyler something, Kyle Pitts. They have those playmakers to work with. I think he's going to have a very solid year if he was the starter for Atlanta. And then you got Raheem Mostert, running a 2-year pack with a $5.6 million with 3.2 of it guaranteed. We're going to give this as another solid A+. You're not paying that much for arguably a pretty average and good running back in Raheem Mostert. So I honestly give him this A+. It's a good one. You're not paying this man a lot of money, which is a big difference to all the other free agents. And you're also pretty much getting a good running back for return of this contract. So, well done, Miami. Well done. And again, another Patriot going to the Las Vegas Raiders. And by the way, I'm just saying this. The Raiders are selling them up for failure. I'm just saying them as facts. But Jacoby Myers goes for a 3-year pack worth $33 million with $21 million guaranteed. But either way, I'm giving this one a solid A+. Again, another good signing. I actually do understand this contract. Yes, I understand. You have Devontae Adams and he's getting so much freaking money. But he's kind of getting disgruntled with the team, I'm pretty sure, because they cut his boy, Derek Carr. Okay? But also, Jacoby Myers just is a very good receiver in general. And he will be a nice number 2 option since Darren Waller didn't get traded, so it's a nice good replacement. And also, at least he stays healthy. Rather than not. Okay? And that is all the signings at the moment. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, again, if there are any other updates, I will let you guys know. But anyway, peace.